Have you ever stood in a place that just felt finished? Maybe it was the end of a relationship, the closing of a career door, or a dream that seemed to die right before your eyes. It's that moment when you look around and all you see are remnants of what used to be. It's a valley of dry bones, a place where hope has evaporated. If that's where you are right now, I want to talk to you, because I have a message that can change everything. It's not over yet. In the Bible, there's a powerful story about a prophet named Ezekiel. God takes him to a valley, and it's not a pretty sight. It's filled with bones, dry, brittle, scattered bones. It's the very picture of lifelessness, of finality. God asks Ezekiel a question that seems almost absurd. "Son of man, can these bones live?" Ezekiel's response is so human, so honest. He says, "Sovereign Lord, you alone know." In other words, I don't see how, but I know you're God, and nothing is impossible for you. Maybe that's your prayer today. You're looking at a situation in your life, your finances, your health, a broken relationship, and it looks like a valley of dry bones. You don't see any way it could possibly come back to life. But like Ezekiel, you can whisper, "God, you alone know." Then God gives Ezekiel a strange command. He tells him to speak to the bones, prophesy to them. Imagine how crazy that must have sounded, talking to skeletons. But Ezekiel obeys. He speaks the words God gives him, a promise of new life, of breath returning, of sinews and flesh covering them once again. And as he speaks, something miraculous happens. There's a rattling sound. The bones start coming together, connecting bone to bone. Then tendons and flesh appear, and skin covers them. An army of bodies now stands where there was once only a pile of bones. But they're still not alive. They are complete, but they lack the one essential thing: breath, life. This is a crucial point. Sometimes we can do all the right things. We can piece our lives back together, go through the motions, make things look okay on the outside. We can assemble the bones of our situation. But without the breath of God, the Spirit of God, it's just a lifeless form. We can try to fix our marriage, rebuild our career, or get our health in order on our own. But true, lasting transformation comes from a divine source. God then tells Ezekiel to do one more thing: prophesy to the breath. Call on the Spirit of God to come and breathe life into these bodies. And as Ezekiel obeys, the breath of God enters them. They come to life and stand on their feet, a vast army. What was once a symbol of death and defeat became a symbol of incredible power and resurrection. This story isn't just a historical account. It's a promise for you. Your valley of dry bones, whatever it may be, is not the final chapter. God is a specialist in resurrection. He specializes in bringing life out of death. Think about another story, the story of Lazarus. He was a good friend of Jesus. He got sick, and his sisters, Mary and Martha, sent a message to Jesus. "Lord, the one you love is sick." They expected Jesus to drop everything and rush to heal him. But Jesus waited. He intentionally delayed. By the time he arrived, Lazarus had been in the tomb for 4 days. When Jesus gets there, the scene is one of utter despair. Martha runs out to meet him, her heart broken. She says, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Can you feel the pain in her words? It's the cry of, "You're too late, it's over." She believed in Jesus' power to heal, but she thought that power had an expiration date. She believed he could handle the sickness, but not the tomb. How many of us do the same? We believe God can help us with our problems, but once the situation looks truly dead, once the business has failed, the divorce papers are signed, the diagnosis is final, we think, well, it's too late now. Even God can't fix this. But Jesus looks at Martha and says some of the most powerful words ever spoken. I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. He wasn't just saying he could perform a resurrection. He was saying he is resurrection. Life itself is in him. Death has no power where he is present. He then goes to the tomb and gives a simple command. Take away the stone. Practical Martha objects. But Lord, she says, by this time there is a bad odor, for he has been there 4 days. She was focused on the reality of death, the decay, the smell. She was focused on the facts of the situation. Jesus, however, was focused on the power of the Father. They roll the stone away, and Jesus cries out in a loud voice, Lazarus, come out! The man who was dead walks out of the tomb, still wrapped in his burial cloths. Jesus brought life back into a situation that was not just dead, but decaying. He proved that his power isn't limited by time, circumstances, or the laws of nature. So what is your Lazarus? What is the thing in your life that you've already buried and are mourning? What situation has been dead for so long that you think it's started to stink? Jesus is standing before that tomb today, and he is telling you the same thing he told Martha. Did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? The key is to believe, even when your senses tell you it's impossible. Believing is our part. Speaking life, calling on the breath of God and rolling away the stone, that's our act of faith. The miracle, the resurrection itself, is God's part. Your story isn't over just because you're in a difficult chapter. It isn't over just because it looks like a valley of dry bones or a sealed tomb. As long as God is not finished, then it is not over. He is the author of your story, and he is famous for dramatic plot twists. That moment of despair might just be the setup for your greatest comeback. That valley of death might just be the training ground for you to rise up as part of a vast army. Today, I want to encourage you to start speaking to your dry bones. Don't speak about the problem, speak to the problem. Speak God's promises over it. Tell that mountain of debt, that broken relationship, that sickness, that addiction, that it will live and not die. Call on the breath of God, His Holy Spirit, to breathe new life into your circumstances. Roll away the stone of doubt, of fear, of past failures, and believe that you will see the glory of God. Your greatest chapter is not behind you. It is still ahead. The God who brought an army from a valley of bones and a man from a 4-day-old tomb is the same God working in your life today. It's not over. The resurrection is coming. Thank you so much for watching. If this message resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. We're so glad to be on this journey of faith with you. See you next time.